and welcome back to Circuit the World. My name's Alice, and today we're playing a brand new game, very different, as you can see on the screen. We have no title menu, we have what looks like a text file, and that's because it pretty much is. This game is called The Floating City. I downloaded it ages ago, I think when it was in demo mode. It's now in full release, so here we are playing it. Basically, the premise is it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure text-based game, so this is predominantly what we're going to be seeing, so I hope whatever music I've picked to put on there in the background is nice. I don't like this song, change it. Alright, we'll stick with this for now. I don't really know a great deal. The reviews I've just read on it are mixed. I don't know how long it's going to take to play. It seems fairly standard. I can't find out a great deal about it. So I thought the best way to work out what was going on was to get in it and have a go. So sit back, enjoy as we play this little choose your own adventure. The Floating City by Felicity Banks. So stats. Oh, Christ. Okay. Do you care more about the empathy, the individual or the group? Do you care more about gaining new information or staying safe? Curiosity versus caution. Can you adapt to new situations, or are you better at sticking to the plan? Flexibility versus focus. Jock skills, shark sense, poise. Oh my god. Next. Oh my Christ. Right, there's a lot going on. Let's just play it. Let's just try and work it out together and see what happens. Okay, chores. The sun shines, the ice caps melt, cities rise and fall, and teenagers like you still have to do unpaid work for your parents. With a sigh, you tap the familiar sequence on the nearest glass wall to call up the electronic form that tracks stock feeding times. You find that you might be the boss's kid, but you're still just a food delivery service for the farm animals. It's not like the sharks are grateful either. The nearest segment of glass automatically turns opaque so you can see what you're doing. You tap again to adjust the brightness so you can still see the ocean through the curved wall. The glass sphere turns semi-transparent for you, but continues to protect you from excessive heat or UV radiation. As a shark farmer's kid, part of you is always keeping an eye on the water, no matter what direction you're facing or where in the world's oceans your city is currently located. First, you have to enter today's date. The computer system cares very much about the time, but isn't smart enough to know if you're entering an incorrect date. It's a chance to be subtly rebellious. Well, how do I know what the actual date is, and how do I know if I'm being rebellious? Old style. March 7, AD 2133. It's an old system, but universally recognized. Post-melt. March 7, PM 75. It's worth remembering that humidity tends to screw up. Okay, that's not a good idea. City local. March 7, KP 96. Mum and Dad's standard practiced. Huzzah for Kota, Perahu. Sorry. My bionic birthday, 5 November, KP 94. Day I had permanent glass extensions grafted onto my thigh bones, so wearing my above-knee prosthetics got way simpler. My birth date, 5 May, KP 79. Screw 'em. Okay, so this KP version seems to be the one, and it's the standard, but I'm going to just go with what I clearly should be doing first. Kota, Perahu was one of the first floating cities made of the near-indestructible material known as glass, and it remains one of the best. Glass spheres with diameters ranging between 3 and 300 meters ease turbulence, dampen storms, turn sunlight into power, act as computer screens whenever required, and house 1 million people, including farms, schools, hospitals, and everything else that makes a city a city. Though I discovered very recently, I don't know the definition of a city. I'm going to put them on the screen. And I thought I lived in a village, but I don't. I live in a town. The more you know. From far away, Kota Perahu looks like 100,000 interconnected pearl necklaces laid out in a snowflake shape on the ocean. Whenever you tell your parents you like to travel, they point out that Kota Perahu, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, is always traveling. You've circumnavigated the globe several times. They turn suddenly deaf when you point out that traveling without leaving your home city isn't really traveling at all. At least your parents' farm is marginally more interesting than the ones growing soy, seaweed, neo-bananas, and all the other Kota Perahu crops. I'm just going to call it KP. I just got the KP. But I'm going to call it KP because I'm confident I'm reading it wrong. Now that you've entered the date, you use a pair of tech claws to sort the edible from inedible rubbish and then scan and weigh piles that you actually feed the stock. Once the rubbish is definitely clear of anything inorganic, you trundle the stinking pile over the feeding zone. I swear I'll feed myself into the stock rather than work here a second longer if I have to. I'll sign the boss of this place. I'm never feeding stock again. Well, yeah, let's go with that one. It's not so bad here, but let's go with that. I'm ambitious. Are my stats changing? Yeah, sort of. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Things are happening. Something's coming. 10. Oh, God. Okay, let's just carry on. You walk along the feeding platform. The water is churning and the stock gathers in anticipation. Several dorsal fins break the surface briefly, and in a scrum, you recognize lemon sharks, great whites, and a medium-sized pack of hammerheads, and of course, tiger sharks. They were all delicious, and they're all greedy guts. Are we eating the sharks? I'm kind of guessing that this is like in a future kind of post-apocalyptic world when climate change and global warming has overtaken and won, and we're all now living underwater. Maybe it should have been the year 3000. I hope you got that reference. You recognize the great white trying to swim up the food chute. You call him Sweetie because he has an extraordinary ability to know when there's extra sweet potato coming his way. Now, sweet potato's nice. He's blocking all the other sharks, and if he so much as scratches himself on the side of the chute, his entire social circle will eat him. You're pretty sure he knows exactly what he's doing and expects you to cave in before it's too late. You're the reason there are bumpers on the side of the chute, you mutter. I find out how far he can get up the slide in pursuit of a treat. There'll be a sweet potato farther out, so he has to go fetch it before he gets hurt. I hide the sweet potato and give him some meat. Nah, let's give him the sweet potato. Sweetie gives you the side eye and swims off to get his treat before someone steals it. By the time the sharks are fed, Mum is standing by the water in her swimsuit. Hey, kid, she says. Don't call me that, you say automatically. I'm 18 in 2 months. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I'm enjoying it while I can. She actually looks at you for a moment, really looks at you, and it's the perfect opportunity to tell her everything you want and fear from your future. Self-sustaining cities like KP are carefully balanced, so your list of possible careers is small. Teacher, trader, shark farmer, tech worker, diplomat, politician, media personality, vet. But even that short list feels overwhelming right now. The moment passes and Mum is walking away. She's already gathered all her medical tools, ready to do her daily checkup on the sharks. It's a little more than an excuse for her to get in the water with her precious fish. She waits until she's sure they're finished eating and dives right into the sea. The sharks are full of energy after their feed and they swim fast and fierce, circling her like prey, except that she notices what they're doing, laughs, and joins the circle with them. They're perfectly safe when they're not hungry, and in any case, every human in the city has a basic wrist computer that will electrocute any shark foolish enough to bite them. Damn. Mum can hold her breath for minutes at a time. It's a common skill in your generation, but a rare one in hers, the first generation born at sea. And it's funny to think that, unlike you, drylanders can barely last a minute underwater before they need a breath. Humanity hasn't evolved as such, but life is very different now than it was at the beginning of the 21st century. There are plenty of drylanders still stuck in their anti-ocean going ways, but you're glad you're not one of them. I would disagree. I would say this is evolution, but there we go. I may have a misunderstanding of the word, but my understanding of evolution is that is evolution. The species evolves to survive their new environment. Evolution. You catch a glimpse of Mum's white swimsuit here and there among the grey bodies of the sharks. Sometimes you see her brown arm slicing through the water or her hand gently touching one of the sharks. She's checking the well or choosing who she'll draw away into the harvesting tank to be slaughtered and sold today. Lovely. Sharks eat shark, but Mum is the top predator to him. Here. You're expecting a call from your friend Eunice. Eunice? Eunice? So it's time to get moving. Use Dad's office. I'll be on time to talk to Eunice, and Dad will be pleased to see me. Use the speeder to get home as planned. It's a more reliable way. Go through the spheres. I might run into other friends. Who cares about Eunice? No, if you're going to speak to someone, We'll go see Dad, but we should definitely make sure we talk to Eunice if we've agreed that that's what we're going to do today. I did hit start, didn't I? Cracking. Dad's office is on the top floor of a medium-sized sphere overlooking the shark's main recreational zone. If you squint, you can see him dreamily watching Mum through the glass. He never... What? Go away. He never gets tired of admiring her or of doing all of the boring work of the farm. Papers, orders, scheduling, trading. You don't think he's been near an actual shark in years. Excuse me. Fortunately, you wore your lightest prosthetics today. Your stompers. That doesn't sound light. They're designed for wet environments, so they have a round rubber ends that are more stable than flesh feet, and the legs are extendable, so you can wear them short, making you about stomach height to most people, medium or long. They're more comfortable than any of your longer prosthetic legs, and if you set them to their longest length, you're halfway up the ladder to Dad's office before you even begin. You haul yourself the rest of the way with your arms, enjoying that you know you can make it to the top easily. Dad grins at you as you come in. What's up? Is it okay if I make a call using your wall? Eunice is expecting me. Unfortunately, now's no good. Damn it. I'm about to have a meeting and it's not going to be pretty. You know how the drylanders are. There's still time. You hurry home. Once you're sitting comfortably, you log on, activate one segment of the room's glass wall. Eunice spots your presence on the interface and his face pops up in front of you. Hey! Oh, I get to pick a name. Eva. Haru. Dana. I like that one. Esther. Mohammed. Charlie. Riku. Mina. Oh, Mina's cute. Sam. Xavier. Kira. Priya. Write my own name. I'd like to write my own name, please. My own name is... Alice. Next. I am a she, her, her. What is Z, Z, Zim? I don't know, but I'm a she, her, her. Hey, Alice. Oh, they need a voice. Hey, Alice, says Eunice. How are you? Still floating, you say. Am I late? He laughs. You're never late. Okay, you say, watching as one of the breeding sharks swims right under you. I know it shouldn't, but sometimes I leave a little raw meat in the water nearby. It's my job to care for the sphere's submerged algae. I keep forgetting. I usually darken my room's glass in case Mum decides to skinny dip again. We'll just keep it on the top. Why not? You focus back on Eunice's face on the glass. Sepia skin, straight dark hair falling onto his eyes, slightly crooked mouth that makes him look like he's always about to tell a joke. Glass dollar for your thoughts, he says. You say, oh, don't waste a whole dollar. My thoughts are worth 20 cents, if that. He sticks out his lower lip to below his fringe, which stands straight up and then falls back over his dark eyes. Listen, there's something I have to tell you. You might be angry. You'll probably be angry. Please don't be angry. That sounds serious. It is, he says, taking a breath and blows out again. If he doesn't get to the point soon, he'll hyperventilate. You've never seen him like this. He's usually so calm. Is he alright? If he's done something to hurt me or my family, I'll be furious. Part of me does. Now let's be compassionate. Is he okay? The truth is... Someone else is trying to connect to you. Just to say, Eunice, someone's calling me and I want to see what they want. Block the other person. Eunice is talking now. Yeah. Sorry, Eunice, carry on. You raise your hand to signal the network to block the other person, but Eunice sees your movement. What are you doing? Just blocking someone. Oh, he says, suddenly awkward. No need, I can say my piece later. But he leans forward and taps his own screen, ending the conversation. Well, screw Eunice even. So much for that ominous sounding discussion. You allow the second call to go ahead. Your friend Cassandra's face appears on the screen and she waves at you before signaling. Put your best legs on! We're going on an adventure! Oh no, not again. Are you going to get me in tension again? Your wish is my command. Let's go for the middle one. Are you going to get me into tension again? She barely hears you, literally bouncing with excitement as she signs wildly. We're going to Old Sydney! You lift your hand to talk, but she's way ahead of you. Her long fingers make every word look graceful, and her rapid signing short-circuits your ability to argue. Wait, are we signing, not talking? It's a beautiful cloudy day, she signs, lifting her eyebrows so her eyes are even bigger and brighter. Perfect for exploring. I love to see different parts of the oceans. Oh, cool. I love to catch. I don't stretch my legs. I'll do it if you let me keep anything we find. Oh, damn. The answer's no, Cassie. Accept it or this conversation is over. Let's go for a bargain instead, shall we? Deal, she says, throwing her arms wide. Well, I wanted to try out some new tech. She grins and points downward. You follow the direction of her finger, seeing your own floor beneath your stomper prosthetics. Looking back up, you see Cassie still pointing down. You flick the switch and turn on the external lights. And there's the real-life Cassie with her own 3-person speeder directly below you. It seems you're going to explore Old Sydney. That means getting some proper legs on. You slap your hand on the floor in a give me a sec sequence as familiar as salt water to anyone in KP, then turn the floor dark again and you pull off your stomper prosthetics. Changing legs is as personal as changing clothes. Do we all have prosthetic legs then, I guess? All your prosthetics are hanging in a row. You do a quick check for your flesh legs, for scratches, ingrown hairs, or other problems, then slip on your all-purpose plastic seals as you think about which legs to wear. Other than the stompers and the runners, all your prosthetics have small storage compartments. Cosmetic legs. I want the legs that pass for real so we don't attract unwanted attention. That's not a bad shout. All-purpose pair. Great for physical challenges and spontaneity. The curved runners. I'll take any advantage to show how fast I can be. No, we're going to go for all-purpose. I mean, I appreciate that being stealth mode is probably a good shout, but I feel like I might need to run, so let's be quick. Don't forget your tail! Good lord, I've got legs and a tail. Cassie taps on the underside of your sphere. You clip the heavy metal belt around your waist and push it down until it clicks over into first position. Cassie built it for you, designed it to be portable and largely hands-free. The lower section of the tail is even heavier, but fortunately, Kota is full of ladders and your upper body strength is epic! +1 biceps. You put the tail's bottom half in an expandable string bag and settle the weight on your hips before sitting on your swing lift. Then lower yourself down into the open top of the speeder. You chuck your bag onto the spare seat. Cassandra's in navy board shorts and a matching bikini top, with her hair pulled into a long plait down her back. You look fit. This is a great idea. Promise me we're not going to do it. Let's go for that one. Could you plead that, please? She says, looking innocent as pie. I wasn't looking. Thanks to Cassie's hacked speeder, you reach the centre of Old Sydney in a couple of hours. You motor slowly between the ruined islands of what were once busy thoroughfares and major business centres. It's very quiet from the sloshing of water against Kota's spheres and the staccato rhythm of its desalinators. Dear Lord, I have no idea what either of those words were, what they mean. Sorry if I read them wrong. For a moment, you and Cassie just stand on your seats with your head sticking up through the open roof, watching the water. The sea is different here, bluer in places and muddier brown in others. Only about 20 buildings are visible above the water in what used to be the CBD. City Business District, maybe? Then you look down. There's something there. Something bigger than even a central sphere, shimmering right and sharply pointed in at least a dozen places. I stay calm and tell Cassie to go back inside. Just because something huge and spiky and directly below us doesn't mean it's going to kill us. I leap out and head for the bridge. I'm fast enough to draw it away from Cassie safely. No. Let's stick with the top one, I guess. I'm a bit scared. She feels the tension in your fingers tapping a danger signal on her arm and immediately ducks back into her seat, strapping in and flipping up the safety switch cover, ready for you to clip on your own belt to give her the nod. You strap in as fast as you can and with shaking fingers sign, "Go!" She slams the button and you race away at top speed. You press back into your seat. Cassie curves sharply, the force pushing your metal belt sharply into your waist and then your sides as she takes you behind one of the enormous structures of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Scan for movement. You tap on her wrist and she switches on the scanners. The only reason to use tap signals when you're sitting right next to each other is to communicate privately. So she knows instantly you think someone or something is out there. The scan comes up clear. You're not being followed. You sag in relief and Cassandra quirks an eyebrow. Calling up a drawing screen on your side of the speeder, you choose a blank white black and white palette and draws spiky shapes. The computer automatically matches the shape to the Sydney Opera House. Cassandra bursts out laughing at you and signs. I used the latitude and longitude of the Opera House to program the speeder. It was the first major Sydney landmark I thought of. Now that you know you're safe, you look around. The top of the half of the Sydney Harbour's bridge arc is above the water, looking like the backbone of an enormous metal sea serpent. The close, undamaged skyscraper has an oval... The closest undamaged skyscraper has an oval featured at its peak. The next closest has a stepped roof, and you see something like an enormous chrysalis dangling inside one of the open white squares. You hope it's not a dead body. Lovely. But you're not close enough to be sure. If there's someone living in that building, you don't want to meet them. A few buildings farther along is a hexagonal block with lights in the window and what look like clean washing strung out the sides, like an anemic tutu. Do you think you're up to climbing the bridge? Cassie asked. It'd be epic. Or we could go diving for a glimpse at the past and possibly pick up something good to sell. Or we could go to those apartments and find some real drylanders to talk to. I bet they're not nearly as monstrous as everyone says. Climb the bridge. It won't be easy, but it'll be awesome if we reach top. Go diving. There's probably heaps of cool stuff down there. Take the speeder to the apartments. Let's get to know some real drylanders. Kind of curious to do this. Sod it. Let's do it. Why not? Feels risky. Should we see if my stats are changed? Not particularly. Only this one's really moving. These are moving. We've got some new people to meet. My reputation ain't good. Connections is bad. I don't even know what any of this means, to be fair, so we'll just keep going. Cassie manually steers the speeder towards the hexagonal building, giving the open scaffolding at the top of the Deutschbank skyscraper a wide berth. There's no sign of movement there, so it seems the hanging shape was just a warning to stay away. That's a message clear enough that even Cassie obeys. It's fun to leave the top of the speeder open and enjoy the hot wind on your face. When you reach what your map tells you is the World Tower, Cassie cuts the engine and takes you on a slow circle around the building. The washing hangs like bunting all the way around the apartments. Most of the clothing is badly faded, turning to shades of grey and brown. You can see faded business suits and pencil skirts, plus a row of oddly shaped clothes. Nappies, Cassie signs. Someone's got a baby. Cassie, let's go closer, slowly, and I'll keep my head and hands visible. Grab the trading flag. I bet the lack of supplies and we can make a night profit. Grab the trading supplies. I bet they lack supplies and we can make a nice profit out of junk. Shout, hello, is anyone there? I guess we'll go with the top option. Okay, she taps on your arm, taking the speeder gently towards the building. You wave your arm in what you hope is a non-threatening manner and scan the windows for faces. You see a hint of movement a couple of floors above you, and as you move closer, you spot two adults standing in the window. It's impossible to see their futures. Futures? Because I'm not clairvoyant, but the word is features. Make sure you lock the speeder, Cassie. This isn't like home. I think they're scared of us. Let's just stick to the plan. Talk, then go home. Shall we stick to the plan? I think they're scared of us. I'm going to go with that one. Okay, she taps on your leg, and she lets the current carry you closer. One of the people raises a hand, but it's not clear if they're signaling hello or stop. It's almost confronting to see that the drylanders are as useless with non-vocal communication as you've been told. Even back on Kota, the older residents can usually only speak the basics of tapping rather than the full range that comes so naturally from your age group. Fortunately, the drylanders move across to a smashed window and lower a rope ladder made out of knotted electrical cords. That's definitely an invitation. Yeah, I've put the wrong legs on for this. You climb up the swaying ladder, glad for your hard-worn upper body strength as your legs dangle uselessly, and find yourself in a large, dimly lit room. There are water damage marks high on the walls and at least 20 people looking at you. Oh, geez. One of them is a little boy of 6 or so. Hey, kid, let me guess. You'd like to look at my awesome legs. I don't think we should maybe come on to a 6-year-old. I stand tall and openly staring at them. Drylanders don't scare me. Do you all live here? What's it like? Well, I guess this one. None of these options are appealing to me, but I guess we're going with this one. Cassie climbs up behind you and waves at the people. Finally, one of the women greets you and asks where you're from. KP, you say, and watch the recognition wash over the room. Back when KP was first built, the Australian public donated massive amounts of funding, medical and industrial equipment, and of course, the glass that is so essential to every floating city. Someone whispers, "First generation," to someone who doesn't know Kota's history, and then immediately looks at you with a new respect. KP is one of the best floating cities in the world, and these people know it. You ask Cassie if she'd like you to translate for her. She shakes her hand, choosing to let you run the conversation, where she uses the opportunity to narrowly observe the people while they think she's busy lip reading. Tell them about the tornado KP had to race away from last year. Okay, there was a tornado. Take by chance and do some more running. Listen to them talk. This is weird. I kind of want a start a friendly conversation. This is very specific. Hi, we're new here. Can I tell you about this tornado that we had to run away from? Dead scary. I listen to them talk. It's like, hi, I'm Alice. Weird. Let's tell them about the tornado. I'm not going to start running around in circles looking like a madman. The Drylanders listen, rapt, as you talk about the hasty firing up of Kota's engines when it was in real physical danger. You thought it might be impolite to tell such tale to the Australians' most fixed community, but they're fascinated. Well, everybody loves drama. You part as friends, and you and Cassie descend the ladder back to the speeder in a cheery frame of mind. That was easy. You speed away from the Drylanders' strange home, but Cassie isn't done yet. Do me a favour, she signed with an uncharacteristically bashful smile. Put your tail on. I want to show you something. You detach your legs awkwardly and she hops into the water to get out of your way. It's never easy putting your tail on, but being in a speeder at the same time leaves you hot and sweaty, bruised from banging against the glass sides. Ready? Cassie signs with one hand. Without waiting for an answer, she takes a breath and disappears under the water. Cassie pops back up, but something is very wrong. Her pupils are so dilated, her eyes look black, and she stares at you like she's never seen you before. Help! She signs at you with eerily robotic movements. Stuck, bleeding, help! Who's stuck? Cassie, that's not funny. You're scaring me. Whatever's going on in the water, who's stuck? Help! She signed again and then blinks. Her eyes focus on you, but they're still wide and black. I'm doing an experiment. Lovely. On me, you ask. On myself. It's your turn to let your hand drop to your side so you don't say anything. Something you might regret. I make tech implants and put them in my head, she signs, so I can feel things, sea creatures. There's one here. She waves her arm vaguely at the water. It's hurt. I can feel it. Actually, it's hard not to feel it. It feels like it's me. You need to get out of the water. What do you want me to do? This isn't anything to do with us. What do you want me to do about it? I need to stay in the water so I can feel it, she says. Follow me? She drops beneath the surface and hits the switch to close the speeder. Whatever's causing her weird behavior, she doesn't deserve to die for it. That's a massive leap. You shout the button to follow her, snaking beneath ancient power lines and into an underground gap that turns out to be an elaborate engine hall of an over-decorated office block. Cassie goes straight to the gaping hole where the elevator used to be and reaches out her hands. There's a fully grown shark right in front of her! I steer the speeder between Cassie and the shark. I abandon the speeder, swimming over to grab Cassie and get us home safely. I crash the speeder into the shark! Die, shark! I guess I'll steer the speeder between Cassie and the shark. She's probably gonna die. My bad. What's our stats with her? Are they any better? No, they haven't changed. These are the only ones that's really moving. Everything. Oh, this is moving now. I've got good empathy and a lot of caution. Yeah, it feels about right. The speeder has never been slower, but you managed to block Cassie's access to the open mouth of the enormous great white. Cassie turns to you in fury, but at least it's definitely her. Stop getting in my way, she signs viciously. I'm going to help this shark whether you like it or not. She's running out of air, and she comes through the lower hatch to catch her breath. Her eyes are still badly dilated, and you're not sure if she's capable of being rational or not. The shark isn't playing dumb. It's truly stuck, and somehow Cassie's mind is stuck with it. Cassie, slow down. Let's talk about this. This isn't right. This is amazing. I'm in. Now, let's slow down and talk about this. They're coming, she signs frantically and ducks back into the water. She swims right at the shark and at the last moment kicks her way past its mouth. To your surprise, it doesn't lunge at her. In fact, it seems to shift its head aside to make room for her. Cassie swims to the place where the shark's tail is caught in a rusted elevator cable, and she pushes at the cables, struggling against the inertia of the water. Words. The shark's blood stains the dusky water, and suddenly you know there's a time limit to this rescue. Other sharks are coming, and they're not coming to help. They're coming to feed. I dive into the water, force the cables apart. I reckon I'm stronger than Cassie. I keep watch for the approaching sharks. I reckon I'm more focused than Cassie. I keep the speeder close to Cassie so she can get back in quickly when she's ready. Let's help her. Let's get in the water and do it. Why not? You really hope you're not about to get yourself eaten. The shark's enormous head turns to follow you as you swim past, but it doesn't snap its teeth like you expect. Perhaps Cassie has some kind of hold over it. She's tugging at one cable with both hands, angling her body to try and press her feet against one of the other cables for leverage. As you approach, she moves aside without even looking, as if she sensed you were coming. You grab two cables and push them apart. It's not easy, but you can do it. Cassie pushes on the shark's tail and it swims forwards. It's free! Yay! We freed the shark! Woo! You grin at Cassie, but she doesn't grin back. Her eyes are darker than ever and she cocks her head as if listening to something. Cassie doesn't do that. You turn and see two more sharks approaching. The shark you just rescued swims away at top speed and the other two just pause as if thinking before heading straight for you. Cassie's moves are jerking. Instead of climbing inside the speeder with you, she holds her hands out in the water and scrunches her eyes shut, concentrating with all her might. Then suddenly, her whole body goes limp and she slips downwards into the water. Her mouth hangs open. I dunk my head under the water to since that seemed to aid communication. I drag her inside as quickly as possible. I watch to see what happens. We could. I feel like this is one of those moments where it's like, oh, you should do something. And I kind of... You know what? They're not real. Okay, there's another chapter. She drifts lower. The sharks come closer, but they pause as if an invisible barrier is holding them back. You wonder if Cassie is truly controlling them, and you stay as still as possible, watching. Cassie convulses and bubbles come from her mouth. The shark swims forwards again. You grab Cassie by the bikini strap and pull her as hard as you can. She's light and easy to maneuver until you get her head above the water, and then she's dead weight. Gasping and groaning with the effort, you haul her up to safety, feeling burning pain in your shoulders and back because this is such an awkward angle. Then she's inside, and you slam the hatch closed. The two sharks circle beneath the glass, watching as you slap Cassie's face and check her breathing. Psh, 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 wake up! They're creepy, but they're not what worries you anymore. Cassie's alive, but she doesn't wake up. Alright, we're going to go with that being chapter 2. I don't know how many chapters this game is or how long it is, but that's kind of as... We'll leave this here, and maybe come back to it if there's some interest, if you guys are interested in the rest of this game. Like I said, I don't really know... Can I save the game at all? Change the animation, change your background, make text smaller, email me when new games are available, share with friends, email, play more games like this, view credits, show stats. There's just so much here. Oh, I'm back to this now. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what the whole point of this game is. Lasting love with Cassie, lasting love with Eunice, get a job, save New Sydney, save Old Sydney, save the farm, save Arkville, destroy the farm. Jesus. There are 9 possible achievements with a total of 100. So this is basically what we're playing for then. We're going to end up with someone, maybe get rich, maybe get a job, we'll save one of the Sydneys or something here, maybe we'll destroy the farm. Who knows? It's the stats I don't get. And from the reviews I've read, this is very much what people were saying. They were like, they don't understand what these are, what they mean, what they do. I'm pretty consistent with everybody. My reputation isn't good, and I'm very cautious. And I have more empathy than pride, and I'm more flexible than focused, which I don't know if that's a good thing. Like I said, I don't know how many chapters there are. I don't know much at all about this game, but that was chapter 1. Do let me know your thoughts in the coffee pot down below. If you're interested, we'll definitely come back for chapter 2 and see where this little shark story goes and what's up with Cassie and how many chapters there are. But from what I can understand, the full game is out now, so the full story is available. Obviously, it's a choose your own adventure, so even if you're watching me play this, you can play it yourself with different results and stuff. I'll leave a link to the game. If I can't do it through YouTube, it'll be in the description box down below, and we'll kind of see how it goes from there. But for now, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been an absolute blast, as always. If you enjoyed this video, go show that like button some good old-fashioned love. And if you want to support the channel, go hit subscribe or ring that bell so you don't miss next time I upload a video. Stay awesome, and I will see you all in the next video! Weird little game. I can't work out if I like it or not.